Good evening and welcome to the Pompey Politics Podcast PMQ special, where we wait and see whether any questions will be answered, whether any questions will be sensible, and will this be the first of the fond farewells to Keir Starmer? I'm Ian Tiny Morris.
And I'm Simon Sansbury. Good evening, Ian. It's bloody hot.
As we sit here, it's 35 degrees in the house, I think. I am basically melting. It is, you are lucky, those of you watching along. I've got a shirt on, and yes, we are struggling in the heat. Good job, there is no climate change thing going on. So today it's the first chance of for Kemi to wish Sir Keir warm-hearted hugs after his resignation speech. So should we jump in and see what he has to say, Simon?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I start by saying my thoughts are with all those injured in the rail collision last Friday. I was deeply saddened to learn of the death of the driver of the Corby to St Pancras train. His family have requested privacy, and we should all respect that. I send my deepest sympathies to them at this awful time. My thoughts are also with those injured in the appalling attack in Edinburgh, which appears to be motivated by anti-Muslim hatred. Mr. Speaker, let's be clear, in this country, an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. We will not stand for it, and the perpetrator will face the full force of the law. Let me commend our emergency services who responded to both incidents with outstanding bravery and professionalism in very difficult circumstances. Mr. Speaker, one of the greatest privileges of leading this country is meeting our armed forces, celebrating their work and marking Armed Forces Week. And I want to thank them all for their dedication, their courage and sacrifice to protect our way of life. Mr. Speaker, this morning I had meetings with ministerial colleagues and others. I shall have further such meetings later today. Not today.
Leader of the Opposition, Kemi Bello.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And can I associate this side of the House with the Prime Minister's remarks on the horrific train crash, the attacks in Edinburgh, and, of course, Armed Forces Week? I want to start by congratulating the Prime Minister. He's the other party leader who won a by-election last week. Although I think I'm much happier with my new MP than he is with his. 2 weeks ago, Mr. Speaker, 2 weeks ago, the Prime Minister told the House that the government was funding defence and everything was under control. The very next day, the Defence Secretary resigned, saying the Prime Minister was unable and the Treasury unwilling to fund the defence of our country. What changed?
Well, Mr. Speaker, she references the by-election. I'm very pleased with our new Member of Parliament. Can I also say to her, in Gorton and Denton, the Tories got 1.9% of the vote. Can I congratulate her, because in Makerfield, they got 2.2% of the vote. Just edging past Count Binface. She says they're winning everywhere. At that rate, it'll take them 500 years to get back into power. Mr. Speaker, meanwhile, back on these benches, we've delivered the biggest sustained boost to defence spending since the 1980s. That's £270 billion over this Parliament. That, Mr. Speaker, is a record. The Defence Investment Plan will take that even higher. That's about facing the future. We'll finalise the plan with the Defence Secretary and we'll have it published before the NATO summit.
I thought I'd quickly dive out there for a second on the first one. What are you thinking so far?
Well, I thought that was lovely work from
deft,
Kemi.
Wasn't it?
It was very deft on me. I'm happy with mine. The interesting piece for me on that is, I don't know when the date of that NATO summit is, but we know that this spending plan was due last autumn and feels like it's been punted downfield several times. That was quite a cast iron commitment. Perhaps that what's changed hasn't been answered, but the spirit of the question, for me, I'm quite pleased with that. the 1.9 to 2.2, a bit of meh. Yeah, I and I guess was where we should pause to think. You know, I don't feel, maybe he is happy to see Andy Burnham because he doesn't look like he's been having much fun for the last few months, does he?
Well, no. To be fair, he's. I guess he didn't have as many parties as previous occupants. Sorry, that was cheap. Should we get some more?
Mr. Speaker, I think the Prime Minister forgot to mention that in Aberdeen South we got 50%. And he says that he's funding defence. The truth is, he wouldn't be in this mess if his Chancellor had found money for the Defence Investment Plan. The Prime Minister gave her the second most important job in Britain. She was the first female Chancellor. She lives next door to him, but wouldn't even come out to stand by him during his resignation speech. She was too busy getting ready for a selfie with the new leader. Does the Prime Minister feel let down by his Chancellor?
This is the Chancellor who ended austerity inflicted on our country for 14 long years. This is the Chancellor who got the economy growing, Mr. Speaker. She doesn't normally want to talk about the economy. That's because in the first quarter of this year, the UK had the fastest growing economy in the G7. Our growth was upgraded by the IMF and the OECD. Last week, unemployment was down. Inflation was better. That is because with this chance, we have the right economic plan and we can weather the global storms in the war that she wanted to jump into.
Mr. Speaker, they're cheering so loudly. If it's all going so fine, why is he resigning? The fact is, she did let him down. She's the one who snatched the winter fuel payments. She's the one who announced a disastrous budget that killed economic growth. And because of her, once again, a Labour Prime Minister is leaving office with unemployment higher than when he came in. But the Chancellor isn't the only person who let him down. The Energy Secretary is putting up bills and killing jobs. He's not here, is he? He was a failed Labour leader, rejected by the electorate, brought back from the wilderness by this man, and when the going got tough, he jumped into bed with the Mayor of Manchester. It's not the first time he's betrayed someone close to him, is it? But does the Prime Minister think that this treachery should be rewarded by being appointed Chancellor?
Mr. Speaker, the Chancellor and I picked up our party 6 years ago from the worst defeat since 1935. We turned it around and we made it face the country. And we won a landslide general election, giving them the biggest drubbing in their history. To this Chancellor, we've delivered the fastest fall in NHS waiting list for 17 years. We've the money for new rights for renters and working people, and we're lifting 500,000 children out of poverty. Mr. Speaker, the test for every Prime Minister is handing over the country in better shape than you found it. I know I can do that, which is more than can be said for her predecessor, her predecessor's predecessor, and her predecessor's predecessor's predecessor.
On the predecessor's predecessor point, we'll pause. So, if it's so good, why are you leaving?
Well, Kemi has never really liked Rachel Reeves, has she?
It's fair to say that there is no love lost between them. No, that's true.
And I think there is that element of this is following the path that I thought it had to, didn't it? Because I guess, the good news stories that Labour want to get across, the falling NHS waiting lists, the children out of poverty, all of their kind of good news headlines just don't really don't feel like they've got the traction with the electorate that you think they might have done. And it's that piece, isn't it, where as you touched on there, well, if everything's going so well, why resign?
Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of an obvious point, but I mean, aside from obviously Kemi's points are challenging this kind of attempt at a narrative of actually these are all the great things that we've done, and you can get into a debate about how fantastic all of those things were or they weren't. But the sheer fact that she's able to stand there and make those points also backs up why he's going.
Yeah, and I think there is for me there is a fundamental faux pas in one of his responses, isn't it? Which is 14 years, and it's said with that scornful tone. You had 14 years to prepare for government. You won a landslide victory. How can you be this bad inside, or be considered to be this bad inside 2 years?
It takes some doing, doesn't it? But I think as disruptive or as concerning it might be about changing, about having a leadership battle while in government, and if there actually is going to be a leadership contest, that's going to take place over the summer when Parliament is not sitting. So in that respect, it's not really, unless something major happens, it's not really going to impact on the business of the day.
No.
But from a perspective of what Kemi's doing at the moment, despite landing her points very, very well in the punchy adversarial way that she always does, or that she's grown to. She didn't start off that way.
Yeah.
She's just backing up the reason why he's going, and the reason why actually it's the top team. It's the pairing of Starmer and Reeves. This is precisely why the PM needs to change, and why the Chancellor of the Exchequer will inevitably.
Yeah, and it is that piece where I think do I feel sorry for him yet? No, not quite. Let's play some more and see whether it gets worse for him before it gets better.
Okay, let's play some more. Just before, but do remember to give us a like, a comment, or give us a subscribe or a follow wherever you're catching us. Let us know what you think, and let's hear some more.
Mr. Speaker, once again, I have to ask, if it's all so fantastic, why is he resigning? And I think it is very generous of the Prime Minister to stick by his ministers, because they didn't stick by him. He can say what he likes, but the people of Aberdeen gave their verdict. They gave their verdict on his Energy Secretary by voting Conservative. But to be fair, Mr. Speaker, to be fair, they're not all traitors and deserters. Some of his cabinet have been loyal and incompetent. Hands up if you think the Education Secretary is doing a good job. Even she doesn't think she's doing a good job, Mr. Speaker. Even she doesn't think she's doing a good job. Someone did. Just for those who raised their hands, the two people who raised their hands, yesterday a poll found that 0% of teachers think the Education Secretary is doing a good job. 0%. She taxed private schools to pay for more teachers, but the number of teachers has gone down. Yeah. It turns out appointing a spiteful class warrior as Education Secretary was a disaster. Yeah. Does the Prime Minister agree that he has been let down by her incompetence?
Prime Minister.
The Education Secretary grew up in poverty. Yeah. She knows exactly what it means to grow up in poverty. She was once reluctant to tell her story. I know her story. It's an incredible story of social mobility and success. I'm so proud that she is sitting there, and so should everybody in this country who cares about social mobility. She knows that for poor children, education is absolutely vital, and that is why it drives every single priority and value that she has. I would have thought the party opposite would recognise and understand some of that, but they've fallen so low they don't.
Mr. Speaker, the fact is that if she knew so much about poor children, she wouldn't have given them fewer teachers. Teacher numbers have gone down. It's amazing. I've never seen this much excitement on the Labour benches. Yes, cheering so loudly while there are 400 knives stuck in his back. Shame on them. They don't like it up them, but they know that what I'm saying is true. And Mr. Speaker, there were times when the Prime Minister tried to do the right thing. He did try to cut welfare. And who stopped him? Those MPs behind him. In the words of the Welfare Secretary, his MPs only want to know who they can tax to fund more benefits. They are not Labour MPs, they are welfare MPs. Does the Prime Minister feel betrayed by the people he got into Parliament?
Sorry, Prime Minister. Can I just say, let us think about the language we're using. I think that'll be the first to leave, please. Can I just say, think about the language we're using, because when we leave this chamber, don't be surprised when constituents feel they can use the same language against each other. Let us show a little bit more decorum and respect to each other. Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was trying to do all of this with as much good grace as I could, but I shall certainly miss these exchanges. I'm very proud of every one of our MPs who, with a landslide Labour victory, coming from all different backgrounds, from all different places across the country. We inflicted the biggest loss on the Tory party opposite in the history of their party. We picked up our party, we turned it around. We had to address what went wrong. We turned it around. We won a landslide victory. She won't even address or even talk about their failure after 14 long years.
Just going to pause on that one just to give us a bit of a break. So 14 long years. It was awful.
14 long years.
Are you dumbstruck?
It just begs the same question, doesn't it? So why weren't you ready? Yeah, I hadn't seen that piece of research on the Education Secretary. I mean, Education Secretaries tend never to be very popular with educationalists. I think that's been a truism forever. So, yeah, but again, that would usually be something where, traditionally that would have been a happy hunting ground for Labour. So, yeah, it's difficult because there is that element of, he's on the ropes, and she's in a particularly playful mood today, isn't she? Did I even hear a Dad's Army quote? They don't like it up 'em. I think I did.
I didn't connect what that was about, but I'm glad you put the context in for it. But it's, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, were we really expecting sensible or thought out or well-constructed answers that even combat the premise of the point that the leader of the opposition is trying to make? I mean, at the end of the day, if the number of teachers hasn't gone down, why aren't you saying that they haven't gone down and actually how much they've gone up by?
Well, and
it just allows us to land that punch, doesn't it?
Well, it does, and it's that guilt by omission, isn't it? The whole thing around taxing public school fees was dressed up very much as not ideological, not a class war. It was about, it was another one of those kind of taxation arguments that basically said if you can afford to pay for your child to go to a private school, you can afford to pay the VAT, and we will then, effectively put all that money in a bucket and buy more teachers for those children who can't afford to go to private school.
Yeah, but if your argument is we are recruiting them and they're being trained, or they're not on stream yet, then do you know what I mean? It's just
you do, yeah. And but this is the fundamental, isn't it, Simon? If you're not fighting back with that, then for me that's guilt by omission, isn't it?
Yeah.
You haven't done what you said you were going to do.
But I think quite often that's the problem with these exchanges is Kemi will make quite a feisty point and sometimes quite pointed and quite personal in some of the dismissive way she plays with people. But then the ground to kind of stand on would be this is the sensible answer. This is why what you're suggesting wouldn't work. And instead of doing that, what we've had over the last 2 years has instead been, but we're not as bad as you are, and you left it in an awful state and 14 years, etc., 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 etc. And, you know, it's just a shame. The whole point is Prime Minister's questions. Should we, I'm just conscious of the time, should we kind of race on?
Rock on.
Mr. Speaker, he is the one who is resigning because of his MPs. There's no point trying to distract from it. And let's be honest, Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister has made many mistakes, otherwise he wouldn't be going. But he has also been let down. I'm only saying what his staff have been briefing. He has been let down by an energy secretary who is killing industry, let down by a chancellor who is killing jobs, let down by backbenchers who don't understand that government is about tough choices. He U-turned again and again and again to appease them, and now they've abandoned him. And what for? A pair of eyelashes and a black T-shirt. Isn't the truth that whoever is in charge, Mr. Speaker, isn't the truth that whoever is in charge, the real problem is the Labour Party?
Mr. Speaker, 2 years ago, I walked into Number 10 and found a broken economy, broken public services and broken trust in politics. Because of our decisions, my decision, the country is moving in the right direction, a stronger and a fairer Britain, ending austerity, investing in our public services, the fastest fall in NHS waiting lists for 17 years, more rights for workers, more rights for renters, standing with Ukraine, Britain's reputation restored and 500,000 children being lifted out of poverty. Change promised by a Labour government, fought for by a Labour government, change delivered by a Labour government.
Did you want to quickly sum that before we get to Ed, or do you want to go straight on to Ed?
We've got to get Ed.
Yeah.
He's coming in on a bungee rope.
I don't think there's much else we can say about the Badenoch-Starmer exchange anyway, so let's hear Sir Ed Davey.
Sir Ed Davey, Leader of the Liberal Democrats.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I associate myself and my party with the Prime Minister's remarks about the horrifying train crash in Bedford and the appalling attacks near a mosque in Edinburgh? Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families. And can I mention, Mr. Speaker, today's review of Nottingham's maternity services, which is truly shocking. I hope the government will rise to this moment and implement Donna Ockenden recommendations in full without delay. Mr. Speaker, can I also recognise how difficult it was for the Prime Minister to make the statement he did on Monday? It's an important reminder, as we debate issues robustly in this House, that we are all human, and it's something that everyone should remember.
This is the staring minute. He's staring in the direction of Kemi Badenoch.
Mr. Speaker, as we all know how hard it is when relationships break down with close friends and allies, when even our next-door neighbour barely speaks to us some of the time, has the Prime Minister's experiences opened his eyes to the need to rebuild Britain's relationship with our European friends and allies? Will he advise the right honourable gentleman, the member for Makerfield, to put his EU red lines in the past and adopt our plan for a new growth and defence partnership?
Mr. Speaker, I'm very proud of the fact that we've reset our relationship with the EU and we're bringing it closer together. That is in the best interests of our country, and I know he understands that. And I know that, like me, he's been reflecting on his own career. Given that he had revelations, he turned down a job with MI6. I think the whole House will be wondering what might have been. 00 David.
Sir Ed Davey.
Mr. Speaker, it's very tempting to respond to that, but I've signed the Official Secrets Act. But I have to say, on Europe, when history looks back at the Prime Minister's time in office, I fear that clinging to those old red lines will be judged a mistake. But, Mr. Speaker, moving on, as we swelter through this dangerous heat wave, we see the damage caused by extreme weather and climate change. Schools closed, travel chaos, lives at risk, massive costs to our economy and society. And with our Met Office already warning that future summers will regularly break 40 degrees at even greater human and financial cost, is he alarmed that some parties in this House still follow Donald Trump with policies to send temperatures soaring even higher. So will the Prime Minister warn his successor not to listen to Conservative and Reform voices and instead back our plans to cut bills and tackle climate change?
Can I thank him for raising climate change, because it is one of the most significant challenges of our time, and the weather today reminds us just how important it is. And it used to be common ground across this House, actually, that climate change was the generational challenge, and common ground that the UK should be a leader globally on it. And I remember not so long ago the party opposite leading in the COP summit, something that we were able to support. It is a shame that in order to chase reform votes, they've changed their mind, and we haven't got that consensus across the House. But I will always maintain that we must be global leaders on climate change, and we always will be.
So, I get that Davies' points were being made for different audiences, really, than for a sensible answer off of Starmer. But it just kind of feels like, does anybody really believe that the man coming in is going to really listen to the man that he's replacing, or that he's ousted, about policy decisions?
Well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because Makerfield was a red-hot Leave constituency.
Yeah.
So I think for the second week running, the please beg the EU to take us back, and I'm paraphrasing, it was Daisy last week, it was Ed this week.
Yeah.
It's not going to get any traction. So I'm, it's one of those kind of slightly pointless questions, of which we get many. But yeah, so can you brief the successor to follow the Liberal Democrat policies on the EU and climate change? Well, I can try, but I'm not sure he will, because he's probably going to follow his own policies on climate change. And, the climate change thing is that piece of, as we joked at the start, and I think I joked, the folk who claim it's not real, go and, go to the tinfoil milliner and put your hat on. How we respond to it, how quickly, what we do, how much the UK can make a difference to global warming, that is a whole other show in itself. But I don't think, in terms of the point of, should we let it slip off the agenda as I sit here gently marinading? Absolutely not.
Okay. So I didn't quite know what to expect from today's PMQs. I think is this the penultimate one? If actually there is no leadership battle, then I wonder if Parliament will recess anyway. So in which case this is the penultimate PMQs for Starmer. I didn't quite know what to expect from today, given his speech on Monday, and that he didn't. He basically Deputy Prime Minister David Lammy was sent in his stead on Monday afternoon to brief the House.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of me that almost kind of thought, is he not be funny if he's kind of like, screw this, why should I bother putting myself kind of through that? In a sense, actually, he seems a lot more comfortable with himself now that he knows that the exit door is open. But we're still not getting answers, and we're still not getting any. We're still not fighting the point being the point or the accusation being made by the opposition. We're just, I'm going to listen to what you've asked me, and I'm going to give something I want to say that's roughly in the near orbit of the thing you just asked me about.
Yeah, and I think there is that element of it is, we cover PMQs. It's more theatre than it is.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Exactly that. So, no, I think to be fair to Sir Keir Starmer, he has strode up there. Kimmy was in particularly spiteful and good form today. So, she landed some fairly lusty blows on him, which wasn't, she's been doing that for months now. But to be fair to him, he came and fronted up, and, he could. at the end of the day, I don't think anybody would have judged him too harshly, although I'm certain it would have been called out if he had decided, you know what, I can find better things to do than take another battering from Kemi. So, on that bombshell, you've been listening to the Pompey Politics Podcast's PMQ special. How many more sleeps till Burnham? We'll have to work that out. Maybe you won't win. But I'm
Will
Ian
there be a
Tony
contest?
Morris.
Well, there won't be a contest.
Exactly.
So yeah, and I've been Simon Sainsbury. Thank you very much for watching and for your comments. Don't forget to give us a subscribe, like, or follow, and leave us some comments. We'd love to hear what you've got to say. We'll see you on the next episode. So we won't be streaming live on our normal time slot of Sunday this weekend, but we'll put something in, and we'll make some announcements about that. But if you would like to enter into a conversation with us and talk about either about the government's proposed legislation about banning social media on for under 16s, or indeed to talk about the other big event this week, which kind of seems to have gone without much comment from anybody else. Of course, it was the 10th anniversary of the Brexit vote. So if you'd like to talk about that, then please send us a message or a voice note. You can send us a voicemail from our website, pppodcast.uk, or you can send us an email, studio@pppodcast.uk. But otherwise, thanks very much. Try and stay safe and out of the heat. We will see you next time. Thank you very much.
Don't forget to like, follow and comment on Facebook, or comment and subscribe on YouTube. Find us on all the social media platforms: Facebook, X, YouTube, Threads, LinkedIn.